Let's talk about Altra. Hey everyone, I'm Brett from Conversational Pace, and I was at the Altra booth, and they had a lot of new trail offerings for 2024, some that are very exciting. For me personally, I've had a rocky relationship with Altra in the past. Going way back, I just couldn't run in any of their shoes because they were all way too wide, way too roomy. More recently, I've been able to run in some of their models as they've added a few new kind of widths to their lineup, but I've still had a few durability and fit issues. But some of their new models here have me very encouraged. The first one that we're going to dive into is the new Lone Peak 8. The Altra employee that I was talking to kind of told me it's actually really more of like a half update to the Lone Peak. It's the same midsole, same outsole as the previous Lone Peak, but we're just getting a new upper with a few revisions, mostly coming from the lacing system just to help lock down the foot around the midfoot and the heel a little bit better. That's going to start shipping in early January from select retailers and February from everybody else. Moving on to another classic model, we have the Olympus 6. Now this one is more of a full update. We're getting new outsole, still Vibram Mega Grip, but it's a new outsole pattern. They added a few elements to make it more durable. I guess some runners were having problems with some of the fingers starting to peel off or delaminate, so they added a few additional pieces of rubber just to prevent that from happening. Really awesome to see them just acting on that athlete feedback. We're getting a new midsole. It's a compression molded EVA, and from what I've heard, it's gonna feel much closer to the Olympus 4 than the current Olympus 5. So for some people, you're gonna be like, yes. Other people, you're gonna be like, eh. Sounded though like more people liked the 4 than the 5. So that midsole is gonna feel closer to the 4. Brand new upper, much beefier toe cap. So most of what went into this upper was added protective elements, so the toe cap gets a lot beefier. They redid the padding around the heel, got a new tongue, new lacing system. So all of these are comfort based. As they know, this is the shoe that is meant to go long. I would say that when I commentated the Cocodona 250 this past year, the shoe that I saw on the most feet was the Ultra Olympus. So I think they're definitely catering towards that go really, really long type of runner. This next shoe, this one was a really exciting one. We just reviewed the Ultra Forward Experience. That was the last full review that came out. And this is now its trail sibling, the Ultra Experience Wild. So this is a 4mm drop trail shoe from Ultra, and it is pretty much all the things that Finn and I said we wished they would do. And that was just take the Forward Experience and make it a trail shoe. It's the same foam, same stack height. They tuned it so it's just ever so slightly firmer, and that's because they didn't add any plates or anything, so they wanted the foam to be what adds the protection. So just slightly firmer than the Forward Experience. It has their in-house Max Track outsole rubber, pretty dense lug, so definitely going to work better on your more hard-packed or even a little bit of door-to-trail type usage. The upper is not too different from the Forward Experience. It's a little bit tighter mesh for some added security, but other than that, they didn't go too crazy with the overlays. They wanted to keep this shoe simple, just like its Rhodes sibling. So it's a very simple 4mm drop trail shoe, hardly heavier than the Forward Experience as well. So I'm looking very much forward to this one. Forward. This one comes out May 1st, 2024. Last up, we have the Mont Blanc Carbon. So this one I was very curious about because Mont Blanc Carbon, that's a lot going on there. So this is actually going to replace the current Mont Blanc, the one with laces. The Mont Blanc boa is not going to change at all for 2024. So this is replacing the original Mont Blanc, as that one's being phased out. It's the same outsole as the old Mont Blanc, but they actually made the lugs a little bit bigger, a little bit different shape, just to enhance grip and durability. We're looking at an Ego Pro insert encased in an Ego Max foam with a full-length carbon plate. So we're going like a super foam chunk encased around the regular foam, very much like how the Nike Zagama and Zagama 2 is constructed. But Altra has added a carbon plate. They added it for reasons that I like. So this is in partnership with Carbitex. If you're familiar with Carbitex, you would know that it's the same plate that Speedland uses in their shoes. So it bends in one direction and is stiff in another direction. So holding the shoe, I was actually able to bend it just like any normal shoe. But then when you would hit the ground and hit rocks and other things that would hurt your foot, the carbon plate stiffens right up. So we're looking at kind of more of like an advanced, really lightweight rock plate. And it still allowed the shoe to be flexible. So any issue or any worries that I had about the shoe being really stiff and making me injured are now gone because they use the correct plate and it flexes and it bends and it's stiff in the right direction, and it has super foam underfoot. They were able to keep it soft while still protecting my foot, and it's not so maximally stacked off the ground that I'm going to be worried about stability. So I think that might be a pretty fun trail racer coming in March 2024. So that one's going to be right around the corner, and I'm excited about that one. And that concludes the new trail shoes from the Altra booth over at the running event in 2024. If you want to check out the current lineup of Altra Trail shoes, I left a link below that'll take you over to Running Warehouse. Many more trail shoe preview videos to come. I will see you in the next one.